Afternoon, y'all. I was gonna make a video this evening about old Chevy trucks, but first I'm gonna talk about Debbie beat me to the punch and put out a video today about that old '60 Pontiac Catalina.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, in 2018, I never bought a single car. Nothing.
That's good.
Tractor, nothing.
That's really
Didn't
good.
buy anything all year.
That was even better.
The January 1st, 2019, I went to sail up here about 100 miles in Missouri, and there was a picture of that car listed in that auction, New Year's Day.
What car?
The Pontiac.
I know.
He had it featured in his photo, on auctions there.
Uh-huh.
And I bought the old car for $270. The license expired.
Are you going to shoot down my Pontiac Catalina?
Anyway, the license expired.
I'm just going to shut off on you. I'm going to shut off on you right now.
Let me finish. So I bought it because I wanted that 3 to 9 inch. But anyway, when I brought it in, she said that ain't the 58 62 bug-eyed vet I want.
No,
she
the 58 bug-eyed vet.
But she can see it from her window, like she said, and she just kind of growed on her, and they are pretty cars when they're fixed up. But I just ain't into fixing.
Hey, if this is that kind of video,
but anyway, what I wanted to talk about
get on with it.
Was these old Chevrolet trucks from about 1950 on up to the
1966 Chevrolet pickup trucks are the best.
Okay, well, that's fine and dandy. But from 50 on up to them square cabs, 80s, 70s, and 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna get them OBS trucks. Now, this is Debbie's truck. It's 66.
Got my truck, my daddy's truck. I love it.
Some of the things I like about it, some of them I don't like. One of the things I don't like about
you better be careful.
Is they got chains on the tailgate.
So sometimes you need a chain.
It's right here. On the doors. You'll be hard put to find them that been used if that door ain't got too far forward and got into the fender.
Well,
that happens to almost all of them.
It happens.
Okay. The earlier
hey,
ones.
My tar done disappeared.
The earlier ones.
Yes.
From 49 to 54, 55 first series.
Mm-hmm.
Them AD trucks, I call them.
Mm-hmm.
Advanced design.
Mm-hmm.
They was all 6-volt, 6 cylinders. Hard to put a V8 in them. The brakes was archaic in them, and they didn't stop good, and this and that. And you need to put one of them on a different chassis if you're going to try to drive it in modern traffic. It's low geared, had 410 gears or whatever. 55 through 59 still had that same old straight axle, and the brakes wasn't real big on them. They was low geared too. 6 cylinders. Some of them had V8s in them. They're pretty trucks, but you need to put a subframe under them or do something to them, make a drive and handle everything. The 60 through 62 had that torsion bar front end on them. And even the GMCs had that trailing arm. They come out coil springs all the way around. It's got an oddball rear end on there, and you can't hardly find one that's got a gears ratio higher than 410. And they had a hydraulic clutch release if they's automatic, unless they's automatic. And they had a bell house on them that the fork for the throttle bearing come out on the passenger side. So I didn't care for them much, and when I put a V8 in one of them, I got the mechanical clutch linkage of a 63 through 66. Now, 60 really had that knee knocker, but it was the same chassis and everything as 64, 5, and 6. Cab sails on them, and the chrome.
Yeah, I like the chrome.
On 64, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The cab sails especially.
You had a
on
63
64,
when
5,
I
and 6.
started dating you.
Polished aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of dull looking.
Oh, it's okay.
I didn't care much for the trim. I'd rather have one that didn't, like Debbie's truck, that ain't got any trim at all. Now this here is a 60 through 63 cab seal. Stainless steel.
Ooh.
You can polish that up, it looks nice.
Ooh.
But anyway, the grills.
Yeah, the
and
grills.
the chrome was polished aluminum. It's real dull.
Yep.
Unless you got your GMC. This is a GMC grill. 60 through 66. That's real chrome.
Cool.
You can polish that up. That's nice chrome.
Cool.
That's what I like better about them.
I can almost see myself.
And the dash is on the dash is on the Chevrolet.
Hold it down.
You take one out, it ain't all that bad. It's got one plug-in on it.
You
can unplug that plug-in. You can get that out, get them bulbs. Unhook your plumber, and it comes right out.
Yes, sir.
This is a 60 through 63 dash.
Oh, cool.
This here's a 60 to 66 dash. Got full instrumentation on it. It's pretty crumbly on the back, but it had a mechanical oil pressure gauge.
Crumbly.
See, it had a mechanical oil pressure gauge. It didn't have any. Lots of full instrumentation. But your GMC.
Yes, GMC.
Got one little plug-in.
Whoa.
That plastic piece.
Whoa.
Which that plastic piece, it's better than a big wad of wiring up there. I've never seen the rats ever chew this plastic piece up. It's got them little lights that twist and plug in. And you can take a GMC dash and cut you some holes right there and put you a tack or oil pressure gauge or whatever you wanted right up there. I always put an oil pressure gauge and a temperature gauge, cut a round hole and put them right through that plastic. That wasn't too bad.
Cool.
Now.
Okay. Now.
I'm going to go over here.
Okie dokie. Walk past this beautiful 55 Chevrolet. And my duck, I think he's starving. Oh my gosh.
In 67, the 71 I got a dash like this.
Yeah.
It's plastic. But it ain't all that bad. But see that plastic wire? This one here had been shorted out. It kind of got a little hot and melted.
Yes,
but it just plugs in one plug-in.
Yeah, I see.
You ain't got a wad of water. Now, them square caps. They still got that same loom. But see that plastic? It all breaks loose after time. None of it holds up. And the gauges on these things, for some reason, they don't make good ground. And the gauges will get, I've seen them that was almost new, the gas gauge never worked right. You'd run out when it said a quarter of a tank. Sometimes it'd say it was full and you'd run out. And sometimes it'd say it's empty and you wouldn't hold 2 gallons of gas. And the temperature gauges tended not to be very accurate in them either. They made 2 or 3 different styles of them. But then the surround that goes around them, it's plastic. And it tends to get all broke out.
Well, what do you want, Mel?
The glove box is plastic.
Not very big either.
Okay.
Well, that don't belong here. That says fold.
What I like about a 67 through 72.
Okay, tell us.
This is 71. That green one over is 67. Especially that 67. See that grill? That grill's metal. See this grill? That's plastic.
Hey, don't break it.
It's cracked too. See? It's cracked.
That's why I said don't break it.
Well, it's plastic. And then the surround around this groove is just old polished aluminum. You can polish and polish and polish on them, make it just like the rest of them that are polished aluminum. It don't shine like chrome does.
No, it
It's
doesn't.
one of them that's got the
You
chrome
can
grill
paint
in it.
it.
I've got a couple of them back there.
Oh,
There's
okay.
custom cabs. That's regular stainless steel.
Mm,
It's a lot prettier.
mm.
And one other trouble that's this one right here. This ADV2 I got.
Yes, we're a walking. Walking. Okay, what are we looking at?
Well, I'm getting these parts.
Oh, okie dokie. 55. I'll look at that. Looks pretty cool. Needs to get it running. Well, if you don't want to fix up the Pontiac, why don't you fix that up and let me drive it to town?
Which?
Right there.
55?
Yeah.
How about I fix you up to 56 for you?
Heck no. I don't want 56. I like 55s.
If you're going to pull the steering wheel up of a 50 to 72, that's all you need. That's
Okay,
a steering
will
wheel
you
puller.
hold your hand still, please? Thank you.
You go to the road, take them off them square cabs. You got to get this, and you got to press this metal piece
Will
down.
you hold your hand still again, Mr. Watts?
You got to put this on
Thank
there.
you.
It screws on there, and then you run that nut down. It compresses this spring. This spring. And there's a snap ring you got to get out of there before you... Dude, I got to change the turn signal switch in that. But if you're going to fix up a 67 or 66...
a 60 Pontiac.
A 64, 5, or 6, they ain't got that wrap around glass. You're some kid, you ain't got a lot of money.
Or an old woman.
You know, anybody who just you ain't got a lot of money, you can get you a seat cover and put on that seat and buy yourself a new rubber floor mat, new cardboard for the sun visors, and new cardboard for the glove box in a quart of silver paint. And you can do the interior of that car, that truck, just like it was. The second thing about a 67 to 72, no matter what kind of engine or transmission combo you want to put in there, the motor mounts will work. The stick shifts had a 4-point mount. The automatics had a 3-point mount, but the holes is in the frame. To put the cross member, you can change a 4-point mount to a 3-point mount or a 3-point to 4-point. These trucks came with every configuration of engine, transmission, power steering, air conditioning, or whatever you wanted. This one right here has got a big block in it, turbo 400 automatic, power steering, air conditioning, and it come with optional rear leaf springs. Most of the Chevrolets had 3/4 ton, this 3/4 ton, but most of them had leaf coil springs and trailer arms. Your GMCs mostly had the dang leaf springs, but you can use factory parts to update the brakes and suspension and everything on that 67 right there to the same as on 72. You can find them in the junkyard. So if you're some kid that don't have a lot of money, you can go ahead and build a 67 through 72 easier and cheaper than any of them. That's how come I like the 67 to 72s better than all other years. And this is a 67. And I got a motor I'm going to put in this truck.
Really? What kind?
This is a 67. And it's got a steel grill in it that ain't got a lot of chrome on it.
Would it fit in a Pontiac?
Well, the back glass is small.
I think he's ignoring me.
It's got wood in the bed. That was a 67 only feature. 1968, they come out and had everything had a big back glass. They had marker lights. And that. And the nicest thing about a 67 to me, it's just me.
What's the nicest thing?
I don't have to wear a seatbelt.
Oh.
Arkansas law says you don't have to wear a seatbelt in a 68 or newer truck.
Until they change it.
And I don't like wearing a seatbelt. It's just me. I just don't like wearing a seatbelt. That's all there is to it.
Yep.
But the doors on the 67, you can swap these doors around and make them fit. It don't matter. See, the doors been changed on this truck. This truck was sold new at Doniphan, Missouri.
And?
It come out of St. Louis. It's got some bond on it, just a rough old truck. But it's got a good title. Yeah. And if you look at the interior of this old truck, the rockers are rotted out on it. Every 67, but see how you'd have to buy a dash pad if you wanted to just fix the interior. But this here sun visor is just cardboard.
Fuzzy carpet on it.
Yep.
Make it look party.
And these new cardboard in the glove box. There's radio delete.
Aww.
Well, that's all right. Kid put a stereo. Kid want radio. They put a stereo in that glove box. And speakers under the seat. Somebody's put a seat cover on it one time.
Yeah, it's done for.
But anyway, you can repaint that inside that cab.
Well, I see the wood bed.
Yeah, it's got a wood floor in the bed.
I see the wood bed. It looks like a pallet to me.
Yeah, well, that pallet's a wood floor, I guess.
I'm just messing with you.
But these trucks, the only thing about a 67 to 72, show you on mine right here.
Okay, show me. What is it?
Rockers rotted out on it. Every one we've got, rockers rotted out. But you can get these right here. There's a rocker for it.
Cool.
I bought a bunch of them back before the shipping was high and they cost too much. I think I'd give like $10, $11 a piece and bought a dozen of them.
Wow.
Bought, 6 pairs. I even bought some cab corners. Those cab corners were 67.72. But it's right out. Now this truck runs. And I've got the engine. What happened to it was there was a 402 in it. That's all right. There's 402 in it, and somebody before me had took them heads off and fixed them. They had somebody put hard valve seats in it. And we was going down the road, and Debbie was with me. I wasn't hot rodding or nothing. I was just going down a hill. And that valve seat come out, and the head of that valve come off, and knocked a big hole in the cylinder head, and cracked the cylinder wall, and bent the rod, and runt the piston, and runt the engine. So I put a 454 in here. And I got her going the other day, got everything hooked up, and I went to pour the water in, and run right out on the ground. And what I had done, there's a little plug goes in each side of the block with the water jackets. And I had neglected to put that plug back in that block when I put that engine on, and that plug is underneath of the motor mount. So now I got to take all that loose and jack it up just to put that plug in the block. But I'm going to start driving old truck again. And I don't think that 454 will use any more fuel than that 402 did. That 402 used a lot of gas.
Its name is Scooter because gas scoots right out of it.
No, I thought you saw it because it's so fast.
Nope. Gas scoots out of it.
Yeah, she named it Scooter. She tends to name most stuff. She named this truck Scooter. But anyway, I got more projects than I'll live to complete. We know that. Well, we're just doing this video today. It's still being hot during the day, but it cools off a little bit in the evening. In the morning, we're busy getting them kids up and ready to go to school.
Yep, they're going to
So
school.
I guess that'll be all for this. And like and subscribe, and describe. But anyway, I just prefer 67. I like them best of all of the Chevrolets. I've drove them all.
I like 66.
When we was dating, I drove a 63.
I know, I like them too.
Up motor, but I like them all. In 67 to 72, and if I was a young kid looking for a truck to fix up, I would buy a 67 to 72. It'll always increase in value. You know, everybody wants them. They're getting harder and harder to find. I think me and Zach got 20 of them, and we haven't been able to buy one in years. It's been years since we've been able to buy one. So we'll say goodbye and good luck, y'all.
Thank y'all, and please like and subscribe. Bye.